Okay, all right, let's make a start, everyone. Thank you so much to everyone joining us here today for our live online information session on the 2023 City of Wanneroo Business Awards. Can you believe it's nearly that time of the year already? Amy and myself will have been at WBA for 1 year when the awards happen in October, and that has flown by and we're loving every moment. So welcome everyone. This is my first business awards and my first online presentation of the business awards. So bear with me if I don't know the answers to all the questions, but I do have somebody to help me just in case here in the background who's been heavily involved in the awards judging process before, but I won't name and shame her yet just in case I don't need her. This information session will be posted on our awards website for those who can't join us live today. First of all, I'd just like to say how excited we are that entries are open for the Business Awards, and they will be open until the beginning of October. So we've opened them nice and early this time around, and here is an information session just to give you all the facts on what the awards are all about, how you can enter, tips and tricks, how to make your entry stand out from the crowd, and it's a chance for you to ask any questions that you might have that haven't been covered by the information on the website that you may have read, or some burning question that you want to address. So if there is a question and you think of it throughout the session, I suggest you can either pop it in the chat so you don't forget it, or you can write it down and there will be a chance to ask those questions at the end. Okay, so let's get started. So today, just a little idea about what we'll be covering in our information session. We'll start off with a little introduction on the Business Awards. For those of you who don't know anything about the awards, I'm sure some of you have participated before. So I'll also just mention if anything has changed for this year. We'll go through our awards eligibility very early on, so that if you're not eligible, you don't waste any more of your time here today. But those eligibility criteria have been publicised, so I'm hoping that everyone here today fits into those eligibility categories. I'll go through the 14 business award categories that we have available for this year. We've upped it to 14 this year. There was 12 last year, so I'll go through what they are and what the two new ones are. We have a little bit of detail there about the judges and who they are. We want to be very transparent about who those judges are and how the awards are marked. So we'll go through a little bit about that. And we'll go through the process of how you submit your entry and give you some entry tips to make your entry stand out from the crowd, as I mentioned before. Also, as it is an online submission process, there are some little niggles, technical niggles that you probably need to know about before you start trying to submit, just to iron out any frustrations there. So we'll go through those. And finally, we will give you some dates to put in your diary so you don't miss the deadline. The City of Wanneroo Business Awards 2023. So we have been going now for 20 years. So this year is our 20th anniversary. So that's very exciting. We have a growing Hall of Fame, as you can imagine, with 20 years of finalists and winners from the local business community having entered and won and lost. And we have, a great contingency of people who've entered those awards, and they're all listed on our website if anyone's interested in having a look how it's progressed over the years. The awards are organised by the Wanneroo Business Association. So that is myself, Elle Mulder. I'm the Membership and Events Coordinator at Wanneroo Business Association, and my colleague Amy, who I believe has turned her camera off. She's also here today. So it's organised by us, with the support of our 10 volunteer board members, and it's supported by the City of Wanneroo, who are our major event sponsor, and are heavily involved in the organisation of the event as well. The event is obviously a chance for you to get that recognition for all the hard work or a new product that you've released or whatever category you want to go in for. But obviously it's also a chance for us to celebrate the excellence of business in the City of Wanneroo and beyond. And it is a great opportunity for other businesses to come along and support you as well on the night. So the whole awards process culminates in a wonderful evening of business awards and fun and dancing and celebration. So we're looking forward to that in November, and I will give you that date in your dates for the diary later in the presentation. Eligibility. So to enter the City of Wanneroo Business Awards, the business must have a registered ABN. So unfortunately, the awards are not open to someone who's just got an idea or has just not yet registered their business. This is actually for the registered businesses for them to enter the awards. So you must have an ABN. You must also have been operating in the City of Wanneroo Shire area for at least 6 months prior to the presentation dinner, which is going to be held on the 3rd of November. Or, so if you are not based in the City of Wanneroo Shire, you can still enter the awards if you are a Wanneroo Business Association member and you have been a member for more than 6 months prior to the dinner as well. So just to reiterate, you will need to be in the City of Wanneroo if you want to enter the awards, or you can be a Wanneroo Business Association member who is outside of the City of Wanneroo. Is that clear to everyone? Yeah. So we have 14 award categories this year, and I will go through some of those, all of the categories in a moment. Businesses can enter up to 3 categories, a maximum of 3 categories, and we do encourage you to enter those 3 if you can, just to increase your chances of getting a winning entry. So as I go through the categories in a moment, just make sure you have a little pen and paper ready and perhaps jot down the ones that you think would be a great fit for your business, and you can go back and readdress those afterwards. So maximum of 3 categories for a business. In addition, you can nominate an individual for an award. So we do have 3 individual awards this year. We have our new actually, yeah, Trainee and Apprentice of the Year. That's a new category this year. And that is an individual award for a trainee or apprentice doing excellent things in business or in your business. We have an individual award category for Employee of the Year. That was that's been around for a while, that one, and also Business Leader of the Year, and that was a new category last year. It was very successful, so we're doing that one again. So so you can do that in addition to your 3 categories. And yes, just to reiterate, we recommend you enter as many categories as possible. So moving on to the award categories that we have available to enter this year, remembering you can enter up to a maximum of 3. So the first award is for a Best Business Owner Operator. So this is an individual running their business by themselves, employing no staff, and this is to recognise outstanding achievement of that individual in business. This particular award is sponsored by Perth Now, and I'm sure we have a few people here today who that would be a great fit for. So these are for the sole traders, the individuals who are running that business all by themselves, giving them a chance to celebrate what they've been doing throughout the year. Then we move on to businesses with staff. So this is categorised with the number of staff. So we start with the 1 to 5 employees. So remembering that if you are one person, you're doing the owner operator, but if you're employing a second person, so you have one employee or 1 to 5 employees, you would enter the best business 1 to 5. Moving on to the best business 6 to 14 employees inclusive. Those are for businesses with employees. I forgot to mention Training Alliance are our sponsor for the 1 to 5 employees award. Moving on. We also have a best business for 15 plus employees. So this is for the larger businesses in the city of Wanneroo or members of the WBA, and this recognises an outstanding achievement of a business with 15 or more employees. The next category we have available, and this one has been run for a number of years, is the best business startup. So I remember someone who is attending today who has actually only just started their business in April. This would be a great fit for you. This recognises achievements of a business that has been trading for less than 2 years. And if anyone wants to know how we cut off that 2 years, it's basically the awards presentation evening is the date that we work back from. So that's the best business startup. The next one is a very popular award and a very great award that people love to hear about every year. This is the Innovation Excellence. So this is where you have something really unique, whether it's a service or product or an idea or something that you've been doing. This is a great fit for you to enter. It's also for those people that are doing business a bit differently. So not just what you have to offer, but the way you're doing it. So this is anything innovative or new that you are doing or different from other people. Right, moving on to our next awards. We have Technology Excellence. Technology Excellence recognises a business achieving excellence through the use of software, systems or technology to enhance any aspect of business. So this is specifically about technology more than innovation. So I guess especially apps, now we have all the AI technology at our fingertips. This would be for those types of businesses who are really embracing technology in what they're doing. And then we have the Customer Service Excellence Award category. This is a very, very popular category, I understand, where we have a lot of entries into this one because obviously every business wants to provide a good customer service. So this recognises a business delivering outstanding customer service, and this one is sponsored by Roads 2000. Okay, the next category I'm going to mention is our Community Engagement Excellence. This is a new category this year, and it recognises a business, a charity, a not-for-profit, or an individual for their outstanding community engagement. So it will be the same process of judging for this award, but when the judges have chosen their top 3, it will be put out to a people's choice so that the community get to vote on their favourite, as it is a Community Engagement Excellence Award. The next award is Tourism Excellence. This has changed its name. This was the Visitor Experience Award last year, and it's sponsored by Discover Wanneroo. Now, it's important to note that for this particular award, it is only for destinations, events, experiences and attractions in the city of Wanneroo. So because it is sponsored by Discover Wanneroo, there is an extra stipulation on this award. So you will need to be providing your tourism excellence within the city of Wanneroo. And that's just not the town centre, obviously that's the entire Shire area. Also, just to note on that award, Discover Wanneroo have got a photography package available for the winner. So not only do you win the award, you also win a professional photography package with that one. Okay, so those are our categories out the way for businesses. Now we're moving on to our award categories for individuals. So as I mentioned before, once you've entered your 3 categories or up to 3 categories as a business, you can nominate someone for a trainee apprentice of the year, an employee of the year, or a business leader of the year. So trainee apprentice is sponsored by Apprenticeship Support WA. This is a new category, as I mentioned before, and it recognises a trainee or apprentice who shows outstanding service to the business that they're in. The Employee of the Year recognises an employee who shows outstanding service to the business that they're employed in. And Business Leader recognises a manager, a supervisor, an owner, or even, well, not even, or a team leader demonstrating leadership excellence. So you don't have to be in one of those top management positions to enter this. If you are leading a team, that's perfectly fine to nominate somebody. Very important to note again, the Business Leader of the Year, it's sponsored by City of Wanneroo. So the business must be based in the City of Wanneroo, or the nominee must be a City of Wanneroo resident. So once again, there's an extra stipulation for this particular nomination. And finally, we have our Judges' Choice Award. Now, this is announced at the presentation dinner. It cannot be entered as part of the awards process. It is chosen by our judges. Once they've gone through all of the amazing entries, they will get their little heads together. Sorry, not little. They will get their heads together and they will choose who they think is a standout business. And this is where this award will come in. So it will be a surprise on the night. And this one is sponsored by Urtec. Very good. Is everyone with me so far? Great. So we're moving on now to the application process. This is hopefully nice and streamlined for you this year. We have a dedicated website, which I will provide a link to at the end of this presentation. And businesses will need to enter the awards through the website. So it is an online application process for these awards. The Business Awards provides a perfect opportunity for you to assess your performance on an annual basis. So we do encourage you to enter year upon year. Even if you haven't won an award or even become a finalist, it's still a great opportunity for you to pause, just assess where your business has come from over the last 12 months, work out where you're going for the next 12 months. So it's a really valuable process to enter these awards, and we highly encourage people to enter every year, just so you can benchmark where you've come from and where you're going. The application process is split into 2 different categories, 2 different areas. The standard criteria will be addressed by every business. They're exactly the same questions for every business entering an award. So the standard criteria, I'll go into detail in a moment, but that one incorporates 3 questions, general questions on your business. The award category specific criteria is obviously tailored to the award that you're entering. And that will be a question specific to that award. And we've actually reduced it this year to only 1 question for this. So it has been 3 in the past, but we're really trying to make this nice and easy for people to enter. So the standard criteria, as I mentioned, is split into 3 questions. You have a few more word count this year. You don't have to use all 400 words, but it's available to you if you need it. Sometimes it's hard to fit everything in. So the first question is based around your business introduction. I'm just going to give you, this will all be detailed on the website, but I'm just going to give you a bit of a rundown about what that would include. So this is about what your business does. So in this business introduction section, you should introduce your business, so where it's located, a description of your products and services, where your products and services are available, how long your business has been running, who your customers are, just a real general introduction of your business. Now, remember, the judges don't know your business, so this is your chance to, you need the basics there so that the judges can then go on to read your nomination with as much information as possible about the basics of your business. So those examples I just mentioned, they will be listed on the website for when you're entering, so you don't need to write them down, but that was just to give you an idea of what you need to be talking about. Business operations is the next question in the standard criteria. You will, in this section, need to explain how your business operates. So, for example, the number of employees you have, the business structure, how your business development and marketing are carried out. So, we do a lot of our marketing via social media. We go out door to door, that sort of thing. So how you operate, how you engage with your customers, your key business values. It's a really good place to just pop in here now, because sometimes your values will affect how your business operates. And if you've got one, pop in a little your mission statement or your vision in here. And then you have 400 words for your business performance. And this is how your business has performed over the last 12 months and your key plans for the next 12 months. So that's pretty straightforward there. You are allowed to have one supporting document for the standard criteria, so not per question. So in total, you can have one supporting document that you can upload for the standard criteria. Okay, I will go into a little bit more detail about supporting documents a little bit later if you're wondering what sort of thing you could be uploading. I'll give you some ideas. So once you've entered your 3 standard criteria questions, you will move on to your specific award category question. So depending on what award category you're entering, you'll have a specific question come up in relation to that. It's only one question, as I mentioned, this year, and you have 800 words. So in the past, it has been 3 questions, and you've had a certain amount of words per question. But this time, we're just going to allow you to answer that against one question, and you have a maximum of 800 words for this. You are allowed one supporting document per category. So as well as this particular question that you're entering or answering, you can pop up one supporting document for the category. Now, to give you an idea about what kind of questions we're asking for the award category specific criteria, most of them will be along similar lines. So I'll give you an example. Best business 1 to 5. Your award category specific criteria will be: describe how your business has grown to employ 1 to 5 employees and what makes you the best business 1 to 5 employees. So quite a straightforward one. The best business 15 plus. Describe how your business has grown to employ 15 plus employees and what makes you the best business 15 plus employees. So really trying to keep it nice and standard per question, giving a real chance to address why you think you are the winner for that category, but also a chance just to tell you a little bit of your story about how you got there. Giving you another example now for innovation excellence. It's even simpler. Explain what makes your business the most innovative business. So really it just gives you a chance to address why you should win the award. And we give you some examples of how you can address that. So for example, the innovative business, you can give examples of recent innovation in your services, products and operations, how your innovations impacted the market, any outcomes that you've noticed. So there are plenty of examples about what you can say, but you really are just addressing that one question: what makes your business the most innovative? So If you have any questions, obviously write them down and pop them in the chat and we can address those at the end. Okay, moving on. The individual award entries. So the entries for the trainee apprentice, the employee and the business leader. As I mentioned, they're not judged on the business, they're judged on the individuals. Therefore, the standard criteria questions don't need to be answered for these particular ones. So you'll just get the one question that will pop up if you've nominated to nominate an individual. So you'll get that one extra question at the end when you submit your entry, asking you about why you have wanted to nominate this individual, and you'll get 800 words for that. And again, you're allowed one supporting document for that particular category. So to give you an example of what that question is, explain why the nominee deserves to be Employee of the Year. And you will have some examples there about what you can include in those 800 words. For example, their attitude, commitment to the success of the business, examples of their commitment to customer service, examples of their competency at their job, examples of their commitment to furthering their job skills, examples of how they demonstrate value to the business. There's plenty of ideas there. You don't need to use all the examples. It's just to give you a guide of something to write about that individual and why you think they are deserving of that title. All right, so that's the categories. We've got plenty of options for everyone this year. And hopefully the fact that there's only one question per award category will make things a little bit easier for people. So we're not repeating ourselves or worrying about repeating ourselves over a few questions. So we have a little bit of information here on the judging process. The judging panel is made up of an independent panel of individuals from different backgrounds, including business and academia. We have 6 judges this year. Just to iterate that, Wanneroo Business Association board members and staff are not involved in the judging process at all. So that independent panel of judges, we have a room for them. They spend the whole day going through all the entries, and they are very independent in that process. The board members of the WBA do not know the results until they're announced at the dinner. Obviously, the staff need to know because we need to do the presentation, but we would keep that highly confidential, and we are the only ones that would know, and the judges, who are the winners before the night. So you won't get any information out of the board members. And yeah, just to reiterate, they're not involved in the judging process at all. And this obviously allows our board members to enter the awards if they want to, because they all have their own businesses as well. So it's done on a point allocation basis. So the judges will break down the standard criteria into points, so 10 points per question. And then they will allocate most of the points to the category, award category specific information. And then the points are obviously all added up at the end. To submit your entry. So the awards.wba.asn.au website is all ready to go. You will find a link to that website from our existing website. All the information is on there, including all the submission guidelines that I will be going through a little in detail now, but they're all available for you to read again on the website. You'll find 4 tabs on the website, the front page, which will give you a general overview of the awards and will list all the award categories. There's another tab with all the submission guidelines, so that gives you all the rules and the eligibility and the deadlines and all of that information. There's a 3rd tab, which is the nominating tab, which is where you will actually submit your entry. And the final tab is a contact us page. So if you need any help at all, you can yeah, you can jump on and send us an email. So just to let everyone know that when you are submitting your entry, you'll be asked to upload your logo, your basic business information, which we talked about for the standard criteria, and a promotional photograph to accompany your entry. So get that up together before you enter, because you will. It is a mandatory requirement of the application process. Everything okay so far? I'm getting a bit sick of my voice. Okay, entries close midday, Monday, the 2nd of October, 2023. Sorry, 2023, obviously. We're not time travelers. Entry tips. Enter as many categories as possible. So if you've got a maximum of 3, enter all 3. Be real, be honest, not too honest, but be fairly honest. Share your story. So this is your chance to shine. It's your chance to tell those judges, you know, what makes you the winner, what makes you special, what makes you deserving of this award. I mean, we're all deserving of the award, we all work hard, but what makes you stand out? And to do that, businesses need, the judges need to get to know you as a business, and they need to know your story, and they need to connect with your business, and they need to see where you've come from, where you're going, how much passion you have, you know, really try and get that across in your entry. We know it's not all plain sailing, so it's, you know, you don't need to be saying how perfect you are in your entry. Businesses can win if you know, you're being really real. It's how you respond to the challenges that count. Be clear and concise. So unfortunately, as I will mention in a moment, the form doesn't accept bullet points, so we can't be that succinct, but we can still use short sentences. So really make your words count. Now, this is very important. You must assume that the judges don't know your business or your industry. So say, for example, you're in a particular industry and you have certain jargon that or abbreviations that you might use amongst your industry. Don't assume that the judges know what that is. They're from different industries from you. So please just be really clear about what your industry is, or just assume that the judges don't know anything about you. So this is some ideas here for your supporting documentation. Things like graphs, company brochures, testimonials. You can use that supporting document just to reduce your word count. So if you've got lots and lots to say, you can put that in your supporting document to free up your word count, but you must reference it in your question, or the judges will not look at your supporting document. That's really important. You must reference it. So if you're talking about a particular amazing statistic in your entry and you want to refer to that and show a wonderful graph about that, you must say, please refer to my supporting document. It's very important that you do that. And that supporting document as well, just make sure it's the title of that is clear. We don't want image 1 or image 2, you know, you just give that attachment a title that's relevant to what that attachment is. More tips. As I mentioned, the online application form doesn't take bullet points, and unfortunately it doesn't take any bold or underlines or italics either. So it's really just, you know, what you're saying is really important, not how it's presented. It's what you're saying that's important. Supporting documents. The awards website is set up to not take any more than 10 megabytes, which is quite a big attachment, so you shouldn't really need any more than that. but just so you're aware, no more than 10 megabytes for your upload. And yes, it should be named clearly. Yeah, don't forget to reference them. We've already mentioned that. Now, this is very important. You can't save or print your online application once you've started. So if you go into the title and you decide you want to, sorry, into the website and you decide you want to nominate, and you go on the nominate page and you start your nomination and you realize it's a lot more in depth than you thought it was, and you're not going to be able to finish it in one sitting, you can't save it. So what we have created is a entry template Word document that is available on the website. So you would download that first, and you would then work out your answers, take as much time as you need, and then when you're ready to go, you copy and paste your answers into the online form, and then you can submit. Okay. All right, finally, we have some dates for your diary. It does take a bit of time to put that awards nomination in. So don't set yourself a deadline of the day or the day before. It's important just to give yourself a little bit more time than you think you'll need. Entries close. See, I've done it again. Midday, Monday the 2nd of October, 2023. And no extensions are granted. It is right on the website. The judging takes place on the Friday, and then we will announce the finalists that following Monday, Monday the 9th of October. Everyone who's a finalist will get a phone call and an email telling them that they are a finalist, and that will take place before we announce it on social media. And the City of Wanneroo Business Awards presentation dinner will take place on Friday the 3rd of November 2023. And for those of you who don't know, we've got a new venue this year. We're at the Peter Moyes Anglican Community School, and that's in Mindarie. So just a special thank you to our sponsors so far. We have City of Wanneroo, Tech Holdings, Insight Advisory Group, Training Alliance Group, Discover Wanneroo, Perth Now, Roads 2000, Fox Mortgage Services, Kate Keeley Designs, Print Integrity, Apprenticeship Support Australia, and Cosmic Cocktails and Events. And sponsorship is still open, and there are still some limited opportunities. So thank you everyone for listening. We're going to open up to some questions now. So I'm going to go to the chat first and have a look. So a question is, how many pages long can the one supporting document be? So the only limit for the supporting document is the size. It is a supporting document, so I guess the key is in the name. It's a supporting document. It's not supposed to be the answer to the question. The answer to the question does need to go on that online application form. So I wouldn't suggest submitting, pages and pages of information, but if it's supporting what you are saying in your answer, then you can include an annual report or whatever you think you need. If it's got a few pages, that's perfectly fine. It's just the size of the document. An example of a supporting document, I think we did cover that. But if there's a photograph of you doing some, your a product or a service, or if there's, as I say, an annual report that shows how much growth you've had, or there's a what are the other examples? Amy, throw me some examples. Supporting documents. Graphs, statistics, anything like that, anything that will really showcase your business. A flyer, a promotional flyer, perhaps a particular event that you have put on and you want to show the photographs from it, or the promotional flyer that you did, or a picture of someone in action. So yeah, whoever asked that question, does that answer your question? I think it was Sophie. So Sophie, if it didn't answer your question, please reach out to us after, and we'd be happy to give you some more examples. Or to anyone that's watching this as a recording, if you do want to have more examples of what that document might be, just shoot us an email and we can go into some further detail for you. We have, how many finalists are in each category? It's a good question. We have now three finalists per category. So on the night, there'll be a winner, there'll be a runner-up, and there'll be a finalist. So it's absolutely no shame to be a finalist and come into those awards and come out as a finalist, because to get to that finalist stage, you will have been picked out of quite a number of entries. So 3 finalists per category. Can you nominate more than one individual business leader? You cannot. There is only the opportunity for you to enter the one individual per category. So you can enter one trainee apprentice, you can enter one employee, and you can enter one business leader, but you can't enter 2 business leaders. You can't nominate 2. So pick your best. Can the supporting document be a video? Yes, absolutely. It can be a video. I think that would be a great way to showcase your business. And again, it's just that the size of it that's important there. So make sure that it's under 10 megabytes when you upload that one. Okay. I'm going to open up. Does anyone else have any questions before we close up today? Now's your chance.
I do.
Oh, Casey, lovely. Hi.
Hi. So in regards to the supporting document, can we, in our criteria, say see Appendix 1A and then have the title and then...
Absolutely.
And then
yeah.
1B and then...
Yeah, absolutely. So, for example, if you've got, so 3 particular pages in each one, so you've got a graph on one page, you've got a photo on another. Yeah, I think that would be okay. I am going to double check that with one of our judges who is sitting in the background. I'm just going to ask her to pop something in the chat if she doesn't feel that that is correct. But I would say that that would be quite a clever way to do that, as long as you're referencing it as see Appendix 1 and you title that on the supporting document.
Yeah.
So our judges, our undercover judge is typing at the moment just to make sure that that's right.
Yeah. So in your criteria, you would say, please reference Appendix 1A.
Yes.
But you need to put in the title or the heading, because when they look at 1A in the appendix, the title and the heading will be in your supporting document.
That's right. Yeah, you would say...
So you're not wasting your word count in your category.
Yeah. That's perfectly fine. That's perfect. But you must, make reference to it in your document. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fantastic, Katie.
In terms of if we can put an example of our marketing material, most of our marketing is done through Instagram and Facebook. Are we able to pop in, like a screenshot of any of that sort of marketing that we've done?
So the question would be, would the judges prefer to see a screenshot of what you've done, or perhaps you would just put a link in your answer? So I'm going to go to our little... Well, I just suddenly thought of that then, actually. So I'm going to go to our judge who's here today. That's a good question. And obviously screenshots would be great because it's there in the entry. And I don't think you can expect the judges to go off and check different pages while they're trying to go through the judging process for so many entries. Would that be right, Shannon? Would it be better to have the screenshot or a link?
Sorry for my voice. that's why I was muted, because I'm home unwell today, so I sound a bit terrible. But yeah, I think when you're referencing it, as long as it's when you're doing your supporting documents, the main thing is to have it in there and have it referenced correctly.
Okay.
As a personal preference, I'd probably like a screenshot rather than being taken away from the documentation into like a link. So I would like to see it in the document, but obviously there is a restriction around the size that the document can be. So depending on how much stuff you need to put in there. I think another good example of when people use this screenshots as part of their supporting documents would be for the customer experience. So a lot of people do like to have screenshots of, say, Google reviews or website reviews, that sort of thing, and they put those into supporting documents as well. So yeah, that is something that is done quite commonly and it is effective.
Okay. Do you know if when we're adding our supporting document, if you've got like a like a really good marketing reel on Instagram, if that reel will convert over into the supporting document? Will it accept it?
I'm not sure about that, actually. It's probably something you'd have to test out, but it might have to be, that might have to be a link that takes you off site. The other thing I was thinking about, the video, because videos are good as well, but if they're more than 10 meg, you wouldn't be able to upload it. But say if it was a YouTube video, you could link to it. So that is another way to do it, is having a link to it. But I guess the more you take people out of, you're already going away from the application into the supporting document, and if you go away again, it's just taking them further out of the process. So I guess streamlined it and making it as easy as possible is the best way to do it. But if it's content that you need to get in there, then however you can, I guess.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you can actually download reels from Facebook or from Instagram, and then you would just upload it as a video. So it's a very good question, and I'm happy to perhaps do a little bit of research myself on that one, and perhaps I can pop that up on the submission guidelines as well for people. Any other questions? Great, guys. Thank you so much for your time today. And I will put this online recording up on the website, and I wish you all the very best with your entry. And I hope to see you all at a wonderful awards night later in the year. So thank you very much, everyone. Enjoy your day.